Good morning. It's my pleasure to call this meeting of the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to order. Today is July 31st, 2019. The time is 9:30 a.m. With us today are Commissioner Emily Lindley and our General Counsel, Mary Smith. I'm John Neerman. Ms. Smith, please call the first item.
Item number 1 is consideration of whether to affirm, modify, or set aside the emergency order renewing the appointment of the temporary manager for the sewer utility owned or operated by Tawakoni Waste, LLC, and Texas Rain Holding Company, Incorporated. The ED should speak first as movant, followed by respondents, if present, the temporary manager, if present, and then OPIC. And OGC recommends a 5-minute time limitation on each party's presentation. The Executive Director's staff is here to present the item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. My name is Adam Taylor, and I'm an attorney with the Litigation Division. With me today is Logan Harrell, also with the Litigation Division, Adriana Thomas of the Water Supply Division, and Imran Khwaja of the DFW Regional Office. Item 1 is the emergency order renewing the appointment of a temporary manager in the matter of Tawakoni Waste, LLC, and Texas Rain Holding Company, Incorporated, issued by the Executive Director on June 19, 2019. During 11 investigations conducted in 2018, TCEQ investigators documented that the sewer utility was endangering public health and safety by discharging sewage without a permit. Due to Texas Rain's continuing violations, they were referred to the Office of the Attorney General for appointment of a receiver. On June 20th, 2018, a district court approved an agreed temporary injunction whereby Texas Rain agreed to cease discharges of waste or renew their permit. After the ATI was approved, TCEQ conducted 4 complaint investigations and documented that Texas Rain had failed to comply with the ATI. As a result, on December 18th, 2018, Wallace Hardy, the director of Texas Rain, was found in contempt of court. On December 19, 2018, the TCEQ received a complaint that the sewer utility was discharging sewage. On December 20, 2018, Monica Cox of Tawakoni Waste, LLC, stated that Tawakoni Waste had no interest or ability in taking control of the sewer utility. On December 21, 2018, the Executive Director issued an emergency order appointing Mr. Troy Henry as temporary manager for the sewer utility. The Commission affirmed the emergency order on January 30th, 2019. During Mr. Henry's first 180 days, he installed a 2,600-gallon concrete tank for the sludge digester, installed a liquid chlorine disinfection system, and made many other repairs. On June 19th, 2019, the Executive Director renewed the emergency order and reappointed Mr. Henry as temporary manager for the sewer utility. The sewer utility is currently providing continuous and adequate wastewater treatment service to its customers, and no complaints have been received since Mr. Henry was appointed. The Executive Director respectfully requests you affirm the June 19, 2019 emergency order with the modifications recommended by the Executive Director to correct minor typographical errors. We are available to answer any questions you may have.
I have none. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions either. Thanks.
Mr. McWhirter?
OPIC supports affirming and modifying the emergency order to renew the appointment of Mr. Henry as temporary manager of this utility as recommended by the Executive Director.
I agree. I want to thank Mr. Henry for his service. His services are still needed, so I think we should go ahead and affirm the emergency order.
Yes, I agree. It's, hopefully he'll continue to do the good work he's been doing. Getting no complaints is always good. Thanks for traveling down from DFW today. So if you're ready, I'll make a motion.
Yes.
I move that we affirm the Executive Director's emergency order reappointing Troy Henry as the temporary manager for the sewer utility owned or operated by Tawakoni Waste, LLC, and Texas Rain Holding Company, Incorporated. Modify the emergency order with 1 typographical modification recommended by the Executive Director and issue the proposed order.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 2 is consideration for adoption of 1 total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Oso Creek. interested persons are signed in on this matter, and the executive director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, I am Kerry Neiman with the Water Quality Planning Division in the Office of Water. With me today is Chris Loft of the Total Maximum Daily Load Program and Todd Gallagher of the Environmental Law Division. Today, the Executive Director is respectfully requesting consideration to adopt one total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Oso Creek. The TMDL covers one assessment unit in one stream segment within Nueces County. The stakeholder group was formed with balanced representation of all interested parties and was tasked with providing input on the TMDL. The development of this TMDL is included an active public participation effort and balanced stakeholder group coordinated by the Center for Coastal Studies. The success of this project is due to the collaborative effort of the individuals and organizations that put in the time to develop the document to improve water quality in their community. The Executive Director respectfully requests the adoption of the total maximum daily load and permission to make non-substantive and clerical corrections. Thank you, and we're available to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you. I have none. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions either.
Mr. McWhirter?
OPIC recommends adoption of one total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Oso Creek of the Nueces Rio Grande Coastal Basin as presented by the Executive Director.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. You know, this TMDL supports primary contact recreation use in the segment, and I think it's appropriate that we move forward.
I agree. Excuse me. I move that we adopt the total maximum daily load for indicator bacteria in Oso Creek as recommended by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 3 is the consideration of a resolution reauthorizing the executive director to enter and manage all contracts, including grant agreements, and to delegate authority to staff. The executive director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Beth West, Senior Attorney with the General Law Division, representing the Executive Director. This is longer than my normal presentation, so bear
We're
with me.
good.
This relates to the administration of contracts and grants on behalf of the Commission. Chapter 5 of the Texas Water Code authorizes the Executive Director to manage the administrative affairs of the Commission under the general supervision and direction of the Commission. Specifically, Section 5.229 authorizes the Executive Director to negotiate and enter contracts and other agreements with various entities to carry out the Commission's powers, duties, and responsibilities. Section 5.124 authorizes the Executive Director to award grants for any resource conservation or environmental protection purpose. Two more sections. Government Code Section 2261.254, added during the 84th legislative session, permits the Commission to authorize the Executive Director to approve and sign contracts for the purchase of goods and services valued over $1 million. The 86th legislative session amended this section to also allow the Deputy Executive Director to sign contracts over $1 million. Finally, for the efficiency in making payments, the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts requires that the governing body of the state agency authorize the Executive Director to designate one or more individuals to approve the agency's payment documents in accordance with its rules. As a final thought, the Commission retains oversight of contracts and grants through two existing practices. Selected briefings on contracts on a quarterly and as-needed basis are provided by the Executive Director staff, including reporting by the Financial Administration Division of contracts over $5 million with risks and associated to those solicitations. And the General Law Division also provides briefings as necessary on contracts over $3 million and other public interest. Secondly, there is a quarterly agenda item presented by the Financial Administration Division with material changes to contracts pursuant to Government Code Section 2155.088. So the proposed resolution delegates authority to the Executive Director for these purposes, continuing through the next biennium, August 21st or 31st of 2021, and replaces the existing resolution of 2017-0575 issued on July 27th, 2017. I think I'm done now. So, the Executive Director respectfully requests your authorization of and approval of the proposed resolution. And as always, let me know if you have questions.
You made it.
Yes.
No questions, Commissioner
No
Lindley?
questions either. Thanks.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends approval of the resolution presented by the executive director for this item.
Thank you. And Commissioner Lindley, I think this just largely re-ups existing authority and delegation with some modest changes responsive to legislation. So,
Yes.
and we retain oversight through, as we heard, written reports and regular briefings, and any ad hoc briefings that we might request. So I think it's appropriate to move forward with this.
I agree. I move that we adopt the contract delegation revised resolution as recommended by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you.
That takes us to the enforcement docket, which is items 4 through 28 and 30 through 33. Item 29 was remanded on the motion of the ED. On item 17, we have several individuals who have signed in but have represented that they don't wish to address the commission unless there are questions. And the executive director's staff is here to present these matters.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Janice Hernandez, and I am the Agenda Coordinator for the Litigation Division. With me today are Gitanjali Yadav, also of the Litigation Division, and Melissa Cordell and Michael Dela Cruz of the Enforcement Division, representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 4 through 28 and 30 through 33. The total assessed administrative penalties are $610,668 and $68,616 deferred, $249,443 applied towards supplemental environmental projects, and $292,609 to the general revenue. The Executive Director respectfully requests approval of these items, and we're available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I have none. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions. Thank you.
Mr. McWhorter?
My office reviewed these items, and we recommend approval of the proposed orders.
Thank you, and I agree on my review. I think we should go ahead and approve.
I agree. I move that we adopt items 4 through 28 and 30 through 33 as recommended today by the executive director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item number 34 is consideration of the monthly enforcement report, and the executive director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. My name is Melissa Cordell of the Enforcement Division, and with me is Michael De La Cruz of the Enforcement Division and Gitanjali Yadav and Janice Hernandez of the Litigation Division. We are here to present the monthly enforcement report for fiscal year 2019 through May. There were 965 effective administrative orders issued, and of those, 115 contain supplemental environmental projects. These orders assessed a total of $9,282,818 in penalties, with a payable amount of $5,785,825. $2,079,340 are to be paid towards supplemental environmental projects. 13,250 notices of violation have been issued through either our field offices or review of self-reported data in our central office, and 1,261 enforcement action referrals have been received. There are 1,625 pending administrative orders, with 126 cases that are on the backlog. 206 cases are pending at the Attorney General's office for representation in district court, and 22 judgments have been issued. 2,074 cases are being tracked for compliance. We've included for review a summary of OCE investigative activities for fiscal years 2017, 18, and 19. We are available to answer any questions you may have.
And I don't have any questions. Thank you. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions either. Thank you.
Mr. McWhorter?
I appreciate the report. I don't have any questions.
Thank you for the report.
Item number 35 is the consideration for adoption of amended Section 7.119 of 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 7, regarding a memoranda of understanding. The Executive Director's staff is here to present this item.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners, General Counsel, Public Interest Counsel. I'm Kathy Humphreys of the with the Environmental Law Division. With me today is Corey Horan of the Water Quality Planning Division. This rulemaking adopts by reference updates to the existing memorandum of understanding between TCEQ and TxDOT regarding TCEQ's environmental reviews of TxDOT highway projects. The updates are the result of the review required by Texas Transportation Code Section 201.607. TCEQ and TxDOT staff coordinated the revisions to the MOU. TxDOT's rules became effective on March 21st, 2019. TCEQ's proposed rule was published in the April 12, 2019 issue of the Texas Register. The comment period closed on May 13th, 2019. No comments were received. We're available for any questions.
I have none. Commissioner Lindley?
No questions, thanks.
Mr. McWhorter?
OPIC recommends adoption of this rule amendment and MOU as presented by the Executive Director.
Thank you. This largely renews existing practices, and I appreciate the effort that went into it. I think we should move forward with the adoption.
I agree. I move that we adopt amended Section 7.119 of 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 7, as recommended by the Executive Director.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Items 36 through 39 are the quadrennial rule reviews for Chapters 1, 33, 37, and 311 of Title 30 Texas Administrative Code. No one signed in on these matters, and the Executive Director's staff is here to present.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chairman Newman, Commissioner Lindley, General Counsel, and Public Interest Counsel. For the record, my name is Patricia Duran from the General Law Division, and with me this morning is Kathy Humphreys from the Environmental Law Division, representing the Executive Director. Pending before you are items 36 through 39, the adopted rule reviews of 30 TAC Chapters 1, 33, 37, and 311. As required by Texas Government Code Section 2001.039, the Executive staff conducted rule reviews of these chapters to determine if the need for the rules within the chapters continue to exist. Proposed notices of the rule reviews were published in the February 15, 2019 issue of the Texas Register. The public comment period for these reviews closed on March 19, 2019. No comments were received during the public comment period for these reviews. Based on the review of these chapters, the Executive Director has determined that the reasons for the rules continue to exist. Respectfully recommend approval of the adoption of the rule reviews of 30 TAC Chapters 1, 33, 37, and 311. Additionally, staff requests authorization to make non-substantive revisions necessary to comply with Texas Register requirements. Thank you. Project managers and attorneys assigned to these projects are with us here to answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley, any questions?
Ooh, no questions, thank you.
OPIC.
OPIC recommends adoption of these rule reviews and re-adoption of these chapters as presented by the Executive Director.
And I think that's the right path, too. The rules still do serve a purpose, and
I would agree.
so I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we adopt the rule reviews and re-adopt the rules in 30 Texas Administrative Code, Chapters 1, 33, 37, and 311 without amendment.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 40 is the consideration of mandates issued by the Texas Supreme Court on July 10th and July 22nd of 2019 related to the Texas Supreme Court's opinions delivered on May 3rd, 2019 in the matters of Brazos Electric Power Cooperative Incorporated versus TCEQ and Hyde, and TCEQ and Hyde versus Brazos Valley Energy LLC et al. The Executive Director's staff are here to answer any questions.
Good morning. Did y'all have a presentation at all this morning, or
We do not have a presentation.
And that's fine. I don't know that I need one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we're here to do, there's this broad policy question about how the commission ought to make determinations on tax exemptions for pollution control projects and more specifically for HRSGs, heat recovery steam generators. That's a big question. How do we thread the needle? How do we do that in light of the Supreme Court opinion? Yeah, I think we're going to have to answer that question eventually, but thankfully not this morning. I'm happy to hear any thoughts that you may have on it, Commissioner Lindley. But I think what's absent any answers to that big policy question, I think what's before us is really just a narrow procedural matter, and that is taking the applications that were before the Supreme Court, remanded to us, and I think what's before us then is to in turn remand them to the executive director to handle those as appropriate in light of whatever policy direction we ultimately choose to go.
I would agree. I think there'll be a lot of discussion on this in the future, and it's going to be complicated and complex, but I think as far as what we're here to do today, it's appropriate to remand the cases to the executive director.
Okay, so nobody wants to wade into that big question this morning.
We are in agreement.
Good. I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. I move that we remand the use determination applications of Brazos Valley Energy LLC, Hayes Energy LLC, Ennis Power Company LLC, Midlothian Energy LLC, Wise County Power Company LLC, Freeport Energy Center LLC, Freestone Power Generation LLC, Tenaska Gateway Partners Limited, and Brazos Electric Power Cooperative to the executive director for reconsideration consistent with the Texas Supreme Court's opinions in Brazos Electric Power Cooperative Incorporated versus Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and Richard A. Hyde, and Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and Richard A. Hyde versus Brazos Valley Energy LLC et al.
The motion has been made. I second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you.
Items 41 through 44 are for closed session, and the commission will not meet in closed session today.
The time is 9:52, and we are adjourned.